Hi everyone, this is Josh, and this cricket. We're just gonna have to roll with the cricket, guys. I'm sorry. This will be a spoilery review, so if you don't want to hear any, then honestly, just don't watch the video, because I'm just gonna probably jump right into it. Or just stay if you don't give a shit, which honestly, that's a good attitude, I think. House of the Dragon was created by Ryan Condal and George R.R. Martin. It's based off of Martin's book Fire and Blood, which is a companion piece to A Song of Ice and Fire, which is the series of books that is what the show Game of Thrones is based off of. This is a prequel to Game of Thrones. I wasn't a huge fan of the final seasons of Game of Thrones, just like most other people, but I did like the show in general, and I was excited to see what other types of stories can be made in this universe. While the first season of House of the Dragon was by no means as good as some of the best seasons of Game of Thrones, I did find it to be pretty decent overall. There is some uneven and weird pacing with the big time jumps that happen in the various episodes, and I did find the pacing overall to be slow, and a lot of the season spent just a lot of time building things. I think we were with young Rhaenyra for a little too long in that first season, but overall, not bad. And it felt like it was setting up for something greater with season 2, so, I was willing to, have the show kind of just spend a lot of its time building the universe so that the payoffs could be, more earned in the subsequent seasons. But season 2 just continues doing the same fucking thing, where it builds and not much happens. I think a way that you can describe this season is a season with little to no entrees. What do I mean by entree? I mean episodes with very big, meaty payoffs, like the one where there's a battle at Rook's Rest, where we have Rhaenys and her dragon Meleys fight Aegon and Sunfire and Aemon and Vhagar. Awesome episode with a great 10-minute-ish battle sequence where basically Meleys burns a bunch of people to a crisp. We have this army charging this castle. It's an epic episode, and we get a good payoff and get to see kind of the carnage that may ensue from this war that hasn't technically started at this point. The show also has appetizer moments where we have moments that happen that are important, but it's meant to set up a greater conflict. Like when the rat catchers assassinate the young Targaryen boy. That's a good moment, but it's not really a climax. It's meant to build up to a bigger climax. Or when the rat catchers get subsequently hanged, or when Alicent almost gets killed by the mob of people who are being starved in the kingdom that Aemond is running. The show has a decent amount of those, just appetizers, but entrees, like the episode where there's the big battle at Rook's Rest, that barely happens. In fact, I think that's really the only entree moment. There aren't any big power moves that happen between those actual kingdoms. If this show is meant to be a tug of war between Rhaenyra and Aegon, man, they're barely moving. No one's really tugging in any one direction. They try to make you feel that way, but we don't ever really see that. It's just talked about endlessly. It's not surprising that a show like House of Dragon is going to have a lot of scenes where characters are in a room and just talking about what they want and trying to see how they can maneuver in such a way where they can better their position in this medieval hierarchy by giving somebody else what they want. The acting is very good, which does elevate these scenes, but it can only do so much to sustain the show that insists on having these repetitive dialogue scenes over and over and over again, which don't lead to anything. The guy who plays Aegon, an amazing performance by him. I don't know his name, so I'll put it up here, but he is so good at playing this pathetic king who has no idea what the hell he's doing. He's almost kind of like a different version of Joffrey. He has the capacity to be evil, but he doesn't really even know if he wants to be. He's kind of just purely acting on emotion and is in this position just because it was given to him. He didn't really earn it, so he kind of feels like he's out of place. His whole character changes massively when he's injured in that battle with Meleys. The show does a lot of interesting things with this character, but it doesn't do much else though. A good character that the show could have done so much with, Daemon, is just put into a f***ing box this whole season. Daemon was such a fun character in season 1. He would go on these little mini adventures, act very erratically and unhinged. You didn't really know what he was going to do next, and it was fun. The show, for some reason, thinks it's a great idea to have him go on this negotiation mission the entire time with the House of Harrenhal so that he can raise an army there to fight by Rhaenyra's side against Aemon and Aegon. This whole subplot is not even an appetizer. It's the napkins they put on your table before you even get your water. He doesn't really spend that much time even negotiating at Harrenhal. It's a f***ing haunted house a subplot where he spends most of his time having nightmares about these weird moments with the people in his family, exposing his insecurities and exposing how they may have slighted or actually legitimately hurt him. Like that really weird scene with his mom. He doesn't really know what he wants, and so this whole subplot is to, I guess, help him figure out what he wants exactly. I'm not against a show exploring a character in this way, I just wish it didn't take so much needless time. It almost feels like an insult for the big climax of season 2 to be when Damon decides that he's actually going to commit to Rhaenyra and serve her loyally and have this army pledge their loyalty to her. It's like, oh, congrats, you ended the most boring subplot. Something you could have probably done, in 2 to 3 episodes instead of like, what, 4 to 5 episodes? Season 2 was like twice as boring as the first season. Yeah, I'm gonna give the second season of House of the Dragon a 2 out of 5. While I'm here, I'll give the first season either a 3 out of 5 or a 3.5 out of 5. Decent, but that's gonna be it for me, guys. Let me know what you thought about House of the Dragon in the comment section below. Are you gonna watch season 3? Have you not watched season 1? Have you watched season 1 but you're on the fence about watching season 2? You probably shouldn't. You probably shouldn't. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. That's gonna be it for me. Have a great day. I'll see you later.